A very good morning, class 10. Today I am in total super energy, because what I have got to explain today is one of my best things, and it's been a dream come true today for me that I'm able to. I don't know, I'm thanking God so much that I have got this chance to explain this to you, and I'm really very proud and honored because I just want to share a few things. Is that uh, I don't know, I'm getting very nostalgic about it. My father had wanted to meet this person, and this person was actually what to say, he was one of my dad's inspiration, or godfather type thing. This people, they have talked on the phone, and I have heard them speaking, but I have not heard what the other person is speaking from that side. And so actually it's very difficult to say. So but it's a huge what to say, uh, great honor to be with him, and to know about this person. Actually, I'm not having any words to explain, but yes, I can, and what it's all about. So this person was jailed in 1988, and due to some reasons I'll explain that, and he was released in 1990. My father expired, my dad expired on 89, on the 1st of Feb, and so they had a meeting. They were supposed to meet in South Africa, but they could not. My father expired, he could not reach in time. This person was released in 1990, but through his associates they got this meeting that after he gets released in 1990, I'm going to go and have a meeting, because my father was a priest and he was also into this, to fight for people, and he was very down to earth. So only one thing I can say is that uh, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. You don't need a gun for that. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw, go against the law. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. So you have to overcome your fears. You have to go hunt your dreams, and no matter what comes in between, you just go ahead it. So no one is going to call you. People might call you outlaws. People might put you inside jails, but that's not the end of it. Your struggle goes on and on and on, and this is what I have been taught by my parents and my father also, and I follow that very much. So I am talking about the one and only, and the only, Mr. Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa, and I'm really honored that I'm able to speak about him. Whatever I speak is going to be very less, and I don't have so much of words to speak about him, but he is a living legend. The person who fought for people today, whatever South Africa is all because of him, or whatever all around the people around the world, those who are facing racism and have come out of it, it's all because of this godly human being, and that's all what I can say. So it's becoming very that type of thing, because I've heard so much about this person, I have read so much about this person, and I've been we when there was a racism in our house, we used to have discussions, people coming in, these top shots, all literary people, because my father was also very educated and all that, and he was a priest, so people used to come to him to take advice, and he used to also talk, these long meetings over coffee, cigar, and pipe and all that. They used to sit and talk around. I used to sit on the floor, on the carpet, and I partly listen to them. I used to love to listen. From childhood I have been very naughty and dangerous, and I used to listen a lot, so I've become a very good listener. But I speak sometimes in between, when I can't stand anything, I do go out of my hand, and I follow his type of things a lot. I just wait for the right time. So that is what it is. I just want to repeat that once again, that what to say is Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. I learned that courage was not in the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. That's why I tell you guys, study, learn whatever you can. I want progress. I don't want success. If you do progress, success is going to knock your door. You just write it down in your mind. Success will knock your door and it's going to disturb you the whole day. Every time it's going to send you WhatsApp messages. Come on, where are you, boss? You are progressing. I am success. Please add me into your group or add me into your life. And you will not want success. Then you will just only want to progress. Success is something different. But progress is that hunger. That hunger to go ahead, keep on going. You have to get up that mountain. All steps are not marble, or all steps are not like Taj Mahal steps. You have to go on rough roads as well, and that doesn't mean you get people are being put into jail. Jail is not a bad place, but for a good cause it is never a bad place, but for a bad cause it's the right place. So there's one story of that fellow who used to go around. He always wanted to go to jail. Soapy, he wanted to go to jail, and when he wanted to, he could not go with a good reason, but without any reason he was sent because God was there. So this happens in life. So I just patch up things to things. That's my habit. So Nelson Roli La Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Okay. Born 18 July 1918 on the 5th of December 2013, he died. Okay. So the problem is, what are we going to learn about him? Right. So I'm just getting some things ready for you. So whatever. And was a South African. Now you'll see in South Africa, you see these cricket players, right? They are all white in color, right? So they are not black. All South Africans are not black. He was a South African anti-apartheid. What's an anti-apartheid? Was actually internal resistance to apartheid in South Africa originated from several independent sectors of South African society and took forms ranging from social movements and passive resistance to guerrilla warfare, mass action against ruling National Party governments, the blacks. They went into crime because they were always suppressed, and they were guerrilla warfare. Guerrilla warfare doesn't care what they're doing, they're going to kill at sight. Guerrillas don't think before they do any action. Okay, so apartheid is fighting against that, means you're fighting against racism. Something to do with racism, caste, creed and color is very dangerous. So he fought against that. A revolutionary political leader and philanthropist. What's a philanthropist? A philanthropist consists of private initiatives for public good, focusing on quality of life. Philanthropy contrasts with business initiatives, which are private initiatives for private good, focusing on material gain, with government endeavors, which are public initiatives for public good, health, focusing on everything. So he was a philanthropist who served as president of South of America, and the government of South of America, and the commander-in-chief of the South African National Defence Force under the Constitution of South Africa in 1961 to 1994. The head of the state was called the president, and he was Nelson Mandela. He was called His Excellency Nelson Mandela in an honorific style given to a certain high-level officers of a sovereign state, officials of an international organization, or members of an aristocracy. Once entitled the title of Excellency, the holder usually retains the right to that courtesy throughout their lifetime. His Excellency means powerful, and that person was in jail for 13 years. And So actually he was president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative, democratic, universal suffrage gives the right to vote to all citizens, regardless of wealth, income, gender, social status, race, ethnicity, or any other restrictions, subject only to relatively minor exceptions. Its original 19th century usage reforms in British universal suffrage means fully suffrage. There was no stoppage of anything. Democratic election. His government focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid, which I was saying was a system of institutionalized by the British, the French, the Germans, racial segregation that existed in South Africa and Southwest Africa until 1948. Until the early 90s, apartheid was characterized by an authoritarian political culture based on BASCAP, which ensured that South Africa was dominated politically, socially, and racially. And he had fought against that. So that's not a joke, He did not do it with guns. That's the whole thing. He did not do it with guns. He's a common man. So don't underestimate a common man. Shah Rukh Khan. So, by tackling institutionalized racism and foster racial reconciliation, foster racial is actually a reconciliation, means process involving into a conflict, how people came into man, human being, how things evolved actually. So idea, an African nationalist and socialist. He was an African nationalist also. He had political ideologies, sub-Saharan Africa, which were based on idea of self-determination. He fought for them. And a socialist also, political social economic philosophy, for self-management, production for means of production of workers, self-management of enterprises. He was all this. He used to help people. And he served as the president of the African National Congress party from 1991 to 1997. Okay. Xhosa Mandela was born, Bantu ethnic group of South African homeland is primarily the modern day Eastern Cape Town. Okay, they are actually from Zimbabwe. It's a tribe from Zimbabwe, or the people from Zimbabwe. Was born in Thembu, a part of Xhosa families in Mezu Union of South Africa. He studied at the University of Fort of Hare, University of Witwatersrand, working as a lawyer in Johannesburg, and it is called the City of Gold in South Africa. Is one of the 50 largest urban areas in the world. It is the provincial capital of the largest city of Gauteng, which is the wealthiest province in South Africa. They have these gold mines. Then he became involved in anti-colonial African nationalists. He wanted to break all those things. He got into all those parties in 1943, Youth League till 1944. Then everything went on. It's his journey. He served 27 years in prison, split between Robben Island and Polismoor prison and Victor Verster prison. Amid growing domestic and international pressure and with fears of a racial civil war, President F.W. de Klerk released him in 1990. Mandela and de Klerk led efforts to negotiate and to end apartheid, which resulted in the 1994 multiracial general election, and in which Mandela led the ANC to victory and became president, leading a broad coalition government which promulgated a new constitution. So this is his journey, actually, and he went through this. His early life was also like that, and he had arriving, how he came to Johannesburg, his revolutionary activity, law studies, and all. This is the full journey of his walk to freedom. How he brought into the freedom into this part, and he's been his upbringing as a child, how This book actually profiles his early life, coming of age, education, and 20 years in prison, 27 years in prison. Sorry, under the apartheid government, Mandela was regarded as a terrorist and jailed in infamous Robben Island. Okay, so Robben Island was not a good place to be in, and uh, that's what had happened. He had been transferred to three jails. People were scared for that it's going to take a huge change, and it might go into a problem where he was going to be put in. And Robben Island was actually the island in Table Bay, 6.9 kilometers from the west coast of Blokgrast and Cape Town, South Africa. It takes its name from the Dutch word for seals, robben. Hence the Dutch Africans name Robber Nil Island, which translates to Seal Island. Okay, it's roughly like an oval type island where a jail and all sides are water, you cannot go anywhere. So he was in that jail. Then we have the Pollsmoor prison, officially known as the Pollsmoor Maximum Security Prison, is located in Cape Town suburb of Tokal in South Africa. He was one of the most famous people imprisoned there. He described Pollsmoor prison as the truth of Oscar Wilde's haunting line about Oscar Wilde's book. And then he was sent to Victor Verster prison. That's Drankenstein Correctional Center is a low security prison between Paris and Franschhoek on the Huguenot Road in the valley of Dwars rivers in the West Cape of South Africa. The prison is famous for being location where Nelson Mandela spent his last years of imprisonment. It's very famous. So these all places have become history now. People are wanting to go around that place and see and know about him. Okay, so I'll come back in the next video, in the next class, okay, and we'll talk about it, because time is going away. And seriously, it's not a small part to finish off, so I'll take some time to finish this. I hope you'll understand it and I'll be able to explain it to you. Thank you so much. Take care, be home, be safe, and take care of yourselves. Love your parents, respect them, and education is must. Learn something. Bye bye.